Welcome to a brand new video, guys, and as you can see, we are back in the heart of Hanoi here. And right now I figured we could go explore Hanoi a little bit because we haven't seen a lot of it, and check out the Hanoi train street, which is this really cool like train tracks with a bunch of vendors and stuff all over it. And you get to walk on the trains, but I've heard that lately it's been closed down for safety reasons, but we'll go check it out anyway. And then after that, we're gonna come back here and we'll check out Beer Street on a Saturday night, which I bet is going to be absolutely incredible. All right, so Train Street is about a mile walk from here. It's pretty doable, especially because there's a lot to see along the way. It's very much a sensory overload here in Hanoi. Here we are on the train street, but like I was saying, it is closed, which is pretty unfortunate. So let's go see if there's more on the other side here. Yeah, and there's a security guard out there and everything, so I think it's a pretty recent thing not being able to walk there. But there are some cool restaurants around here. And of course, like anything in Hanoi, the aesthetic is gorgeous. So it looks like there's just a bunch of bars and restaurants around here. And of course, some coffee shops as well. Looks really cool. Maybe in a bit we'll come get some lunch here because I am getting a little hungry. And so the train street is like right here, right when you exit this area, but it is closed. But of course, let's just go see how far we can get in there. This is cool. There's a bunch of street lights and stuff for sale. There's a lot of them. I'm guessing there's high demand for some lights. I guess if you live there you can go in, but otherwise there's guards posted here. All right, let's go to the other side if we can ever cross the street here and see so there's a bunch of cafes and stuff, but I don't know how you'd be able to get into any of those, is the thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little underwhelming. I'm not sure why the cafe is open over there, because you're not actually allowed to go on the tracks to get to the cafe. So pretty unfortunate, but we'll try and catch a train coming through. I'm not sure when the next one will be though. All right guys, so I'm just walking around the building areas around here to see if there's like maybe a little opening or something that leads to the cafes. There does seem to be a few people in them, but I'm not sure how they got there. Okay, so there's a little opening over here, but it looks like there's guards up here as well. Yeah, I found another point, guys, but yeah, it's still closed. And well, that guy was a lot nicer than the guy at the other spot, but he said the next train comes at 3, so I guess we'll just wait for that and check that out. And I've seen pictures and it gets super crowded when the trains are coming, so I'll make sure to be the first one out there. All right, we're back on the street with all the restaurants and cafes, and it's also starting to drizzle a little bit, but let's go see if we can hang out at a place for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes before heading back to catch the train. Well guys, I just came and kind of sat down in one of these cafes, didn't really do much research on it, but how bad could it be? Anyways, it just started raining. Hopefully it'll die down in a bit before we go and see the train. Of course, we got a little Vietnamese coffee going here. A bunch of condensed milk in here. This place was a little more expensive at 70,000 dong. And I also got a kind of an appetizer thing. I'm not sure what it was. He just said it was good. So we'll see. Now mix it up a bit. Hits the spot every time. Like, you think it's just coffee and condensed milk, but it's, I don't know, it just works a lot better. All right guys, just got done with not really lunch, kind of just a snack, but it's almost 3, so let's go see if the train's coming.
Yeah, there's soup from.
All right guys, here's the train. over here. You can practically touch it. Well, that was pretty cool. I mean, if you're here anyway, you might as well stick around at like a coffee shop or something and check that out. It's a lot closer to the tracks than I thought it'd be, honestly. I'm glad they told us to move back a little bit because you can practically touch it from where you're standing. And it is unfortunate that it's closed and you can't go to any of the cafes and stuff. But really cool experience. All right, guys, I'm not really that hungry yet, so I figured we could just kind of walk around and see what we can find around here. There seems to be a lot of restaurants and cafes. This looks like a lot more of a locals market. You got some meat, veggies, and fish. And you really don't see that in like the old quarter of Hanoi. There is this kind of coffee shop thing that I found on Google, and it's supposed to be really good. And I figured we could try some egg coffee, which is another popular form of coffee here, where they have, I think, like a beaten egg yolk or egg whites in there. Not exactly sure, but it does have egg in it. So let's try it. All right, so here we are. Let's go grab something to drink. Can I get a Milo with the sweet egg cream? This one? Yes. Oh, thank you.
Là còn hứng lòng trắng ở trong cái bát rác này.
So it looks like 2 egg yolks go in there. Like such. And then I've had some coffee today, so I just figured I'd get a Milo. It seems like the eggs are just, or the egg yolks are just beaten with sugar, what makes the egg cream. I'm guessing since it's blending for so long, it's kind of cooking it a little bit with all the heat. She's also got all kinds of fruits here, and I can smell the durian that's back there. There's also a lot of fruit juices and smoothies and stuff. This thing has been going on for like, I don't know, 5 minutes now? 5 minutes straight. Alright guys, she just added some Milo in. And I'm guessing milk goes in there as well. Alright guys, so there's not like any milk or anything goes in here. It looks like it's just a beaten egg, and it is warm. So it did cook a little bit. But it's kind of weird. Let's see. Wow, super creamy. And you get like that slight egginess at the end. But it's really good with the Milo. It's very unique. I've never had it before. It's kind of like a custard pudding. And really all it was 2 eggs, some sugar, and then the Milo. And then it was beaten for like 10 minutes straight, and it gives you this consistency and texture. It's weird, but it tastes really good. And honestly, it's kind of like the marshmallow whip that you can buy in the US. That's the texture it kind of has. At first I thought it was going to be like a topping on top of the Milo. I guess you just kind of eat it like pudding, and I'm not complaining. It's good. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this up, and then we're probably just going to head back to the old quarter and hang out until Beer Street opens up, which is around, I think, 8 or 9-ish is when it gets super busy. So that's the best time to go. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and head back to the Airbnb. I'm not really hungry right now, but I will be in a couple hours, and there's a restaurant I really want to check out. It's kind of a hidden gem here in Hanoi that serves some dry chicken pho, and it looks super good. So no, thank you. I'm okay. No, I have to go home. Thank you. Home. Anyway, sorry for that distraction, guys. But yeah, I'm excited to try that place out. And I will see you guys in a couple hours. All right, guys, welcome back. And it is raining pretty hard here, but I managed to get an umbrella. So let's go grab some dinner. But as you can see, guys, it's around 6:30 and looks a lot different to what it did earlier today. There's a lot more people and they've set up all the seats and stuff even in the rain, and it gets even crazier at night. But let's go grab some dinner really quick, because I've been wanting to try this place out for quite a bit of time now. Alright guys, here it is in this tiny little alleyway. So you gotta walk through this little alleyway. Or I can take away?
Take away?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What do you want? Chicken noodle with soup or dry chicken noodle?
One dry, one soup.
Okay. Một số sang đi ơi. Một số sang về đó, sang về.
They got a bunch of chicken and chicken wings, and unfortunately, it's super crowded in here. So we're gonna have to take it to go and eat it back at the Airbnb. All right, unfortunately, guys, it was so crowded in there, so we're gonna have to do some takeaway. And it is pretty rainy out here, so we can't even sit outside. But I got one of the dry pho and one of obviously the soup. And let's go back to the Airbnb and try it out. But I'm gonna have to put the camera down because I can't hold the bag and also the umbrella at the same time. So I'll see you back at the Airbnb. All right, guys, made it back safe and sound to the apartment, and hopefully that rain dies down a little bit so we can kind of do a walkthrough of Beer Street, because it is a Saturday night, and I mean, even on the weekdays, it's bustling, so I can't imagine what it'd be like today. But let's go ahead and try this food out now. All right, guys, so here's everything I got. This right here is the dry pho. So it comes with the noodles, the chicken, a sauce, and then over here is the you know, traditional pho, the soup. So you put all this stuff in here, and right off the bat, guys, you can get that kind of chickeny umami smell. Like when you're frying up like chicken skin, you get that really rich, oily smell, and that's what I'm getting right now, and it smells so good. All right, guys, I think we'll start with the soup. And as you can see, it's not your traditional pho soup. It's much deeper in color. There's much more yellow color than you would traditionally get, I think. So yeah, like I was saying, it's much more like golden in color compared to what you get in the US, where it's more clear and you can kind of tell it's not going to be that flavorful. And here's the noodles. Comes with a little scallion and cilantro, and then of course that chicken, and I see a little piece of chicken skin right there that I can't wait to try. I think first things first, let's go ahead and try this soup on its own. Oh yeah, that is incredible. Super salty, very rich. You can taste kind of that chickeniness in it, and I think it's more reminiscent of a ramen, like a shoyu, than it is a traditional pho. That's how good it is. There's actually like a star anise and like cinnamon flavor in it as well. And I know those are things that traditionally go into making pho, but you never actually taste it when you usually have it. But in this broth, along with that chicken umami taste, you can taste kind of that sweetness of the cinnamon and that floral kind of taste of that star anise as well. I've never gotten that before. It's so unique. And now let's go ahead and try some of this noodles. And I don't want to put it in there because if there's one thing I hate about pho or ramen is when the noodles get way too kind of soft and overcooked. So we'll just keep it separate and eat it kind of like a tsuken. Let's just grab a nice glob of noodles here, dip it in here. Yeah. That's so good. The noodles aren't overcooked, obviously. They're nice and springy, as you can see. And then there's like a little bit of fat in the pho as well. So it really sticks onto that noodles and you get that great chickeny flavor. And now let's go ahead and try some of this chicken. Give it a little dunk in here. Oh yeah. And it looks dry, but it actually isn't. It's cooked perfectly. It's almost like a kind of braised chicken. And then some of them have this little sliver of fat and skin on it. And it's almost the perfect texture to go along with that chicken. And like, while there is a little bit of fat on that, it isn't like completely just like a blast of fat. It's been rendered down really well, and it leaves like this really rubbery, gummy texture on the skin. And it's just very unique. And this bite here is about to be so good. I'm so amazed at how good this broth tastes. Because usually, you know, like most people would be, I'm more of a pork or beef broth kind of guy. But this chicken broth can rival any of those and go toe to toe with them. There's no doubt about that. It's one of the most flavorful broths I've ever had. And I gotta say, the only thing that this could use is maybe some hot oil or chili or something, just to give it a little bit of a spark. But I think that's on me, because they did have that at the restaurant, and unfortunately they didn't have any seats and it was raining, so the seats outside were very limited and full, so it kind of sucks. But if you're in Hanoi, you gotta try this place out, and we've still got the dry one to try out as well, which looks even better. And now let's try the dry pho, and this sauce looks super oily and thick, and let's get that draped all over here. All right, let's go ahead and get this sauce on there, and I don't know if you can see this layer of fat, and I'm pretty sure it's chicken fat, because I saw them taking it out of there when they were making one for an in-store customer. So there's chicken fat and what smells like dark soy sauce. Just gonna put it all over here like that. Now let's go ahead and move some of this stuff away. And as you can see, there's some fried onion on here as well. So already it beats out the soup, I think. But that sauce is super fragrant. It smells like dark soy sauce. And also I think there's a bit of black vinegar in there as well. And then of course you can smell that chicken fat. And right off the bat, there's more chicken in this for sure. Now let's go ahead and try it. Go ahead and get some of this noodle. The broth was good, but this is 10 times better than that. The flavor from that sauce and the fattiness from the oil, it's incredible. It's sweet, it's sour, it's fatty. You get the crunch and kind of like that bitterness of the fried onion. The perfect combination. And there's also like the mint leaves in here that add another depth and dimension to this dish. It's definitely the best thing I've tried here in Vietnam. And it's probably gonna stay that way. I'm definitely gonna have to go back. That is so good. Unfortunately though, they're only open for dinner, so like 6 to 11 I think. But it's so worth it. I mean, the dry version and the soup cost me 110,000 dong, which actually might be the cheapest meal I've had here so far too. And you know what? Yeah, it is in a bit of a sketchy spot, but it was about a 10-minute walk from the Airbnb, so it's not that far out. And you have to go down this weird alleyway, but it's so worth it in there. Everything's made fresh. You can tell the ingredients are super fresh, and it's honestly the best thing I've eaten here in Vietnam, and you need to experience it, especially the dry pho. I think it's so well put together, and like the thought behind the ingredients isn't just like, oh, this will taste good together, but someone actually, you know, went in and kind of experimented, and this is the end result, and it's so good. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish this up, and hopefully it stops raining and Beer Street kind of comes together the way it usually does, and we can just go walk around and check it out. So I'll catch you then. I just need some alone time with this dry pho for right now, though. All right, guys, let's go check out Beer Street. It's about 9 p.m., so should be absolutely buzzing. And as you can see, it's quite the contrast to earlier this afternoon. There was absolutely no one here. It's absolutely crowded out here, and all these people are here for the beer that's being sold in all of these little shops and restaurants here. So this entire intersection here is actually open, but this stretch along here is closed off to cars, so it's just pedestrians only. Let's go check it out. There's going to be a lot of people asking you to come eat at their restaurant or go into their club or bar. Just gotta kind of keep walking. Okay, thank you. As you can see, COVID is pretty non-existent out here. And people are just having the time of their lives. A couple more restaurants, and there's a bunch of clubs here too. And if the beer's not good enough, there's plenty of hard alcohol to go around here. So it is a Saturday night, but it is this kind of crazy every night of the week. Maybe a little more busy today. Alright guys, that was basically it. That's Beer Street. And there's a lot of people. There's a couple of sports clubs over here. But that street we just walked down is the only one without any cars on it, and it has all the clubs and stuff on it. And there's a lot going on, lots of lights, lots of drinks, lots of food. But I'm okay, thank you. Relatively civil, and keep in mind, I mean, it's still, you know, 9 o'clock, so it just keeps getting crazier, I guess, as the night goes on. Alright guys, I've just been walking around a little bit more. I'm okay, thank you. And by the lake here in Hanoi, the smaller lake, and it's absolutely beautiful here, and there's actually a concert going on here. It's kind of crazy, and honestly this place looks more exciting than Beer Street does, to be honest. And check out the bridge to the temple here that we visited in our first video here. Yes, it's really gorgeous out here, and then the ambiance and this vibe is unbeatable. There's definitely a lot more people out here. I mean, check out this crowd, and then a giant stage over there, and it looks like this entire place has been closed down for this concert going on. I guess that's his performing, so if you know who that is, let me know down in the comments. Yeah, well, that's really cool, and I'm guessing it's just because it's Saturday night, but it's a good thing the rain cleared out as well. Alright guys, we're going to start heading back here. What an eventful day it's been. Just walking around here even at night has been really cool. Finding this stuff, I had no idea it was going on. And I don't know, I kind of like this more than Beer Street, but I don't think it's an every night thing, while Beer Street is. And I'm glad we got to go to the train street. Unfortunately, it isn't open like it used to be, so just keep that in mind if you're going, so you aren't as disappointed as I was. But the dry chicken pho was probably the highlight of my night and the highlight of my trip here in Vietnam so far. It was honestly so good, and you need to try it. I'll put the information for that restaurant down in the link below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know when I post next. And until then guys, have a great day.